Hello friends, this is Dr. Saurabh Patwardhan from Nanda Deep Eye Hospital and FECO Training Center. And in this video, I'll be speaking about a case where I'm going to implant a multifocal IOL with plus 4 ad, and I'm going to demonstrate technique of divide and conquer. As you can see, I have already marked 0 180 degree because I want to tackle against the rule astigmatism of around 0.75 diopter in this case. I used a CCC marker of 6 millimeter size, so it gives an imprint of say around 5.2 millimeter on the surface of the lens. So I want to restrict my CCC within that margin so as to avoid any larger CCC which goes over the optic, outside the optic. And I've taken the incision on the 180-degree axis here, which is the steeper axis. In this case, I'm using 2% HPMC, which is my regular viscoelastic agent, and 26 gauge bent cystitome used for doing capsulorhexis. I am trying to trace that marker imprint on the corneal epithelium. I am trying to stay within that margin so as to have a larger size rhexis. In capsulorhexis, if you have a smaller rhexis, we can correct it at the end of the surgery. But if it is a large rhexis or eccentric one, then it's very difficult to correct it. It's followed by hydrodissection, 2 cc syringe with fluid. No air bubble should be there in the syringe. And the position of the cannula is very important. It should be at the equator, pushing the fluid in one go. At the same time, press the posterior lip so the anterior chamber pressure is not built during this procedure. It's nice and ready for the phacoemulsification here. No need to rotate, as you can see even after hydrodissection it was rotating well. But if you rotate it 5-6 times, it helps in cortex aspiration later on because cortex gets loose. So this is a 1.25 millimeter Sinskey. It's a blunt instrument, and this is my favorite for doing either chops or divide and conquer and everything. And I start off with the trenching. The parameters I'm using here is 100% torsional, but it is in linear mode. So my foot switch is basically controlling the power which is delivered. And as you can see, I'm doing it very nicely. Might be using say 30 or 50% of the torsional power. Watch the careful placement of the both tip and Sinskey at the depth of that trench, and such a nice division. I like that division a lot. You can see the division is complete till the posterior plate here, and next is the 1.5 millimeter half groove, and again nice division. Look at my left hand, how it is just holding that nucleus piece there and just dividing them into two parts. Very nice, beautiful. So 4 pieces have been done. I'm just checking that all pieces are free. I think this is essential requirement before going towards the quadrant removal. Now I am shifting to quadrant removal. Just look at the tip, how it is sideward beveled. I'm using high flow rate of 40. You can go even more if your antechamber is stable at that. I'm using high bottle height of 110 and using 400 vacuum. And as you can see, I just used the vacuum, just aspiration is used, very minimal phaco. There it's just grade of 1 to 2 cataract, so I'm hardly using 30 to 50% of the torsional phaco here. And watch that, I'm using just vacuum at the anterior part of this quadrant and just tumbling it into the center of the bag so that I emulsify it without going nearer to the posterior capsule anytime. So that's the technique. It is very safe technique to use it bevel down or sideways. Once you achieve that tumbling of the nuclear pieces into the center without going any way closer to the posterior capsule, and that's the way to do it. I think that was wonderful video to show the divide and conquer and quadrant removal there, and you can see how safely it can be done and with very minimal phaco energy use. And this is one technique which can be used for any grade of cataract for that matter, and that's why it should be mastered before you go to any other technique like chop, primary chop or pre-chops. I think this is the basic of phacoemulsification, and I can guarantee that you will get crystal clear corneas and very good post-operative outcome even with hardest grade of cataract if you have mastered this technique of divide and conquer. So just go through this video, and there are multiple videos of divide and conquer, and just conquer the divide and conquer. And once it is done, after removing the cortex, I'm going to implant a three-piece multifocal IOL. This is a plus 4 ad multifocal. Now, of course, trifocal lenses are having a definite advantage of giving a whole range of vision, but sometimes because of the cost issues, we have to implant multifocal IOLs, and multifocal IOLs have a single ad. So in this case, it is a plus 4 ad. So the working distance for this patient, if the patient has emetropia post-operatively, will be around 33 centimeters to 40 centimeters. That's the distance that commonly used for reading newspaper or seeing the smartphones. So if the patient is interested for those activities, I think this plus 4 ad lens performs very well. So this is a three-piece IOL. I'm using the company's injector and cartridge, and you can see the leading haptic goes to the left, which is the right direction, and I just release it at the incision, and the trailing haptic is flicked over. Many times people feel that if the haptic comes in contact with the conjunctiva, there is higher risk of infection and all, but we must remember that the conjunctiva itself is already sterilized, and also we have kept viscoelastic over it, so I have hardly seen any such case. And I use this technique of using visco cannula at the optic haptic junction to put it in, but you can use Kuglen hook, which is easier for the beginners. And then I wash off the viscoelastic from the antechamber and from the bag. Even for three-piece IOLs, it is very important. So you have to flick the IOL to one side, go behind, and remove the OVD. And I think complete removal of OVD is also very important factor for reducing the post-operative inflammation as well as any infection, because it just takes out everything that you have inserted or injected inside the eye. And so try to remove everything from the bag and from the anterior chamber as far as possible to have very clear post-operative eye and a very happy patient. So I have already done the opposite clear corneal incision here, which I have edited out. So that will take care of the 0.75 diopter of against the rule astigmatism, and I should get a good refractive outcome in this particular patient. With three-piece IOL, you can see those posterior capsular lines are seen, stretch lines, but these do not usually cause any issues post-operatively. Thank you so much for watching this video, and to watch many more videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and do post your videos on our website phacotraining.org.in so we can comment and publish your videos. Thank you.